Welcome to the Wild West of making money online, where some folks game the system, others grind legit, and a few just straight up borrow content with confidence. In this video, we're diving into 5 Creative Commons videos that spill the secrets on how to stack cash online. You'll see the good, the shady, and the surprisingly clever. So buckle up, keep your side hustle radar on, and let's get into it. Ever wondered how your late-night gaming sessions could fatten your wallet? Spoiler, it's not just about PWing noobs. Let's dive into some strategies.
Here are 5 ways to make $1,000 plus from your gaming channel that you can start doing today, even if your channel is really small. And you might be thinking, now Marcus, that's a dandy video title and all, but like I have a really small channel, and I get it. Maybe your channel's not even monetized yet, or maybe you've literally just started and you still have less than 100 subscribers. Well, here's the thing. One of my students, shout out to Tom if you're watching this, recently went full time on his gaming channel, and he only had 12,000 subscribers. I know another dude, Matt, who's making 60 grand a year, USD, with a channel that had 10,000 subscribers. I myself, not to flex, but I've made tens of thousands of dollars using the methods mentioned in this video. I even got my first sponsor paying hundreds of dollars per video when I just barely scraped past 1,000 subscribers on my gaming channel. And yes, the channels in these examples had thousands of subscribers, but they were making tens of thousands of dollars. And so if a YouTube channel with 10,000 subscribers can make 60 grand a year, do the math. You can find a way to make at least $1,000 on YouTube, even if you have a really small channel, if you do the things I'm going to talk about in this video. And here's the proof. This concept kind of became famous when a man named Kevin Kelly wrote the famous 1000 True Fans essay. And to summarize, the essay basically said that as a creator, you don't need a huge audience to make a full-time income. What you do need is a little pocket of true fans, super followers.
See? Your joystick prowess might just pay off. Now about those energy drink sponsorships? Making millions by borrowing content? Sounds like a plot twist. Let's explore this shady avenue.
There's a lot of ways to make money online, some easier than others, but I don't think that there's an easier way out there than becoming a guru, someone who teaches other people how to make money online. You don't have to be rich yourself, you don't have to be an expert, you really don't have to know how to do anything except convince people that you know what you're talking about. Today I'm gonna be watching a bunch of guru TikToks from gurus who claim to have cracked the code on how to make easy money online. Just like last time, I wanted to go into this blind, so I actually haven't seen any of these TikToks before. I had my elite council of content come up with it, which is just one guy, his name is Robert, and it looks like the first one on the list here is titled Stealing Content Guru. So this should be a pretty lucrative way to make money fast.
In the life of a $20,000 a month TikTok clipper, first thing I do when I get into my office is write down my daily goals.
Oh my god, so much to unpack right off the bat. A day in the life of a $20,000 a month TikTok clipper. So he gets you intrigued right away. This person is making $20,000 a month, which is a great living, by doing something called TikTok clipping. Now to the lay person, this might just sound like, oh, he's a TikToker, he makes little clips and he puts them on TikTok. Since I know that this TikTok is about stealing content, I have a feeling that this dude is not posting his own content on TikTok and is somehow making $20,000 from it.
First thing I do when I get into my office is write down my daily goals. Today I wanted to get 1 million views in a day and make at least $500.
Those are crazy goals. I want to get 1 million views in a day and make at least $500. They're crazy not just because they're like lofty goals. I'm sure there's enough content out there that he can steal to meet those goals. That doesn't seem like that hard, I guess. It's just kind of wild to me that that's how this person thinks about their social media business. Like when I'm sitting down to do work for the day, since I am also an influencer, the first thing I write down isn't like how many views I'm trying to get that day or how much money I want to make that day. If anything, it seems like you should be at least focusing on how many videos you're going to make that day or like what kind of creative decisions you're making that day. It almost seems like you're reverse engineering what a content creator actually does. He's like, content creators make money from doing content creation, so that must be the first thing they think about when they are making a video.
Remember kids, sharing is caring, but stealing, that's a whole different game. Can't wait to cash in on YouTube? Here's a speed run to monetization.
On here, I'm myself. I don't have to, try to change myself, change my voice or anything. This is me. If you see me in person, this is me. And my personality is also the same. So I'm not trying to change it up because of a camera, and I don't want you to do the same thing. I don't want you to think that everything have to be perfect. It don't got to be perfect for you to get on the camera and create some content. Another thing I want you to do is explore AI tools like ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a great tool that I use on my channel, and it helps me a lot coming up with ideas, titles, viral hashtags, all that. If you have never tried ChatGPT for one of your YouTube videos, I want you to go try that. So another thing I want you to do is invest. You have to invest in some type of lighting, some type of mic, a tripod. Really invest so that your content can be created anywhere. If you starting out with your phone, that's totally fine. But there's some people out there that won't watch a video because they don't have good quality, or maybe the sound is terrible. So you got to really try to invest in your equipment. I'm not saying go buy expensive equipment, but just equipment that's better than the things that you have today. And you'll see progress on your YouTube videos. Your watch times will go up and you'll have more subscribers. It's really good when you can move around and walk in stores, or just be at home and have good lighting and you can change the scenery up. It's really good to do that. So I encourage you to try to invest in some YouTube equipment that's going to elevate your content. Networking is also a really big thing. Make sure you're using your other social media accounts and posting clips of your YouTube videos, putting your links in your bios, sending your links out to friends, because that's going to take you a long way also. You'll also get more clicks, more subscribers, and more views by doing that. And also engage in other creators' content. If you're on YouTube and you're seeing a video that you like, don't just watch the video. Make sure you like, comment on the video, and even subscribe if you like the content that the person is producing. That will bring you positive energy back to your channel, and you'll potentially gain subscribers in the same way. Because many people watch videos and they don't subscribe, and they like the video but they just don't like or comment, so you just would never know. They just be a view. But if you're starting to be a commenter and you're liking videos and you're really bringing out positive energy and helping out another YouTuber, guess what? That energy is coming right back to you. So start interacting more and start being more supportive to other YouTubers, and your YouTube will start to grow and you will start to get more flow. Thumbnails are also very important. Make sure you're spending a lot of time putting your thumbnail together and making sure that you're putting nice fonts, eye-catching emojis, or anything to catch the viewer's attention. You have to spend time on doing your thumbnail. You'll see that many people will go viral and have millions of followers and they don't even have to do much. But it's always good to just make sure that you have a good thumbnail. You need to know that your YouTube is going to blow up. You need to know that you will go viral and YouTube will pay you to the point where you don't need any other income.
Patience is a virtue, but who has time for that? Let's get that bread and fast. Want more eyeballs on your videos without resorting to clickbait? Here's a quick hack.
What I see about this video is if we come into the analytics, look at the view graph here. At the beginning of this video's lifespan, you can see that it got basically no views. It was dead in the water. But then something happened here and we went from 11,000 views to over 1 million views in just a couple of weeks. And today I want to talk about what caused this inflection point here. Because, and this is going to sound crazy, but I believe this inflection point could not have happened without the 2-minute hack I'm going to show you. Work on any channel with any video. And so I jumped into this video's analytics to diagnose what the problem was. And when I did that, and I came down to my audience retention graph here, and that's when I noticed a big problem. See, your audience retention graph represents how long people are watching your video for. So what you ideally want to see is flat line, people not leaving the video, or at least as flat as you can possibly get it. Because that means a high percentage of people are actually watching the video. To oversimplify things makes the algorithm love that video and promote it to more people. But what I saw in this Mr. Beast video were two things. One, I saw some drop-offs kind of like the ones you can see in this example here at random points within the video. And also I saw a much steeper decline during the intro than I would have liked. And that means two things. One, my intro wasn't really engaging people. And two, there were certain clips or moments within this video that were triggering people and making them click off the video. And I remember being super bummed out because I'm like, man, we've put all this effort into this video and these dud moments are killing my entire video. But then I remembered something. See, not long before that, YouTube had released the YouTube editor. If we come to the YouTube editor, it kind of looks like this. There's a feature in here called trim and cut. And if you click on this, there are a couple of things you can do. One, you can trim down your video by dragging this handle to cut off something from the intro or cut off something from the outro. Or you can come and click on new cut, which will add like a cut within the video like this. And you can drag these handles to cut out a certain portion within the video. So if you have a decent video, but when you check your attention, you see a couple of points that are really hurting your retention, go into the editor, cut them out. And hey, if your video really is as good as you think it is, best case scenario, something crazy like this might happen.
2 minutes to virality? That's less time than it takes to make instant noodles. Tired of the same old side gigs? Let's get our hands dirty with some unconventional hustles.
A potential. And this Redditor shared that his friend became wealthy by cleaning restaurants' Ventahoods and other equipments that required a high temp power washer. And he started with just a basic pump truck, focusing on small local restaurants, and now has contracts with major chains across 3 different states. Now to get started, you'll need to rent some equipment such as a pump and or a power cleaner. And depending on the state you live in, you may need EPA and state level permits. Plus you'll need a driver's license, basic mechanical knowledge, and you'll need to be able to reach out to local restaurants. Now the pros of this one are you can get a recurring monthly revenue. So not only can you do this as a side hustle, but you absolutely can turn it into a full-time business. There's also very high profit margins, and it's an essential service that can't be outsourced. Plus there's limited competition and it's a recession-proof business. The cons are there can be a high initial equipment cost. You either have to rent or get a pump and other equipment. It can also be physically demanding. There are also strong odors. In many cases, you'll have to do it either during the night or in early morning hours to avoid disrupting the business. But overall, I really like this one. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10 opportunity score. Restaurants will always need their grease traps cleaned because it's a legal requirement. And with increasing food delivery and restaurant growth, this industry is only going to get bigger. Plus, strict environmental regulations that are expanding in different states means this service can't be cheaply outsourced overseas like many other things. Now, by the way, if doing these dirty side hustles isn't your thing, I created a completely free cheat sheet on how to get a remote job. And you can check that out by clicking down the description and the pinned comment below. So I have options for people no matter what you're interested in on this channel, which is why you should definitely subscribe as well. Now, if you think dealing with grease is dirty work, wait until you hear about our next business that literally cleans up after your business. And that is a portable toilet rental. Now, have you ever wondered who owns those blue boxes at every outdoor event? Well, they might be driving nicer cars than the event organizers themselves. I'm talking about portable toilet rentals, a business that proves you can literally make money while other people handle their business. Basically, what you do here is you invest in portable toilets and then you rent them out to clients. And you can think of it like being a miniature landlord, but instead of dealing with tenant drama, you're just renting out plastic thrones that practically rent themselves. And the numbers here might make you have to sit down. Standard units typically rent for $25 to $475 a week. But here's where it gets interesting. ADA compliant units go for $100 to $700 per event, and deluxe flushing models can command up to $850 per week. Now, they say that shitposting is not allowed anymore, but take a look at this. Gary from the UK built his porta potty rental company Euroloo into a $9 million a year business. And he started with just basic units and smart marketing. And he focused on construction sites and events. And now he maintains a fleet of 4,000 portable toilets with a 90% utilization rate. So do the math on that. Now, to get started, you'll need a few basic portable toilet units. And these typically cost about $500 to $1,000 each. Plus, you'll need a truck with lifting capability, or I suppose you could rent the truck as well. And you'll need cleaning equipment and supplies, because each time people use them, it's gonna need to be cleaned. Plus, you'll need some storage space for the porta potty units. Depending on where you live, you might need some local business permits, and you're definitely gonna need a strong stomach. Now, the pros here are there is steady demand from construction and events. People are never gonna stop pooping and peeing. There's also high profit margins. It's recession resistant, it's a scalable business model, and there's little day-to-day management needed. The cons here are there is initial investment in units. They also require storage space, there's competition in urban areas, and there's seasonal fluctuations. And obviously you're gonna be dealing with waste, and that's a pretty big con. So overall, I will give this one an 8 out of 10 opportunity score because everyone needs a bathroom. It's literally a basic human necessity. And as Forrest Gump said, shit happens, and you might as well be there to profit from it. All right, guys, so we're a few minutes into the video. What's your take on these unique side hustles? Have you ever tried any of them? Do you think you would try any of them? Have you heard of others trying them? Drop a comment below because we'd love to hear your stories or your questions. Also, if you think that there's one I should have included on this list that I didn't, drop that comment below as well. Now, speaking of dirty jobs nobody wants to do, let me tell you about the next side gig. A business where being a little bit trashy can make you incredibly wealthy. And that's medical waste disposal courier. And you know those red biohazard bags in doctors' offices? Well, turns out there's a gold mine in handling medical waste. And it's a market that's literally growing by the minute.
Who knew that thinking outside the box could be so filthy? Time to roll up those sleeves. And there you have it. 5 totally different paths to online riches, from legit grind to borderline please don't sue me. Whether you're into gaming, growth hacks, or digital Robin Hood tactics, the internet's got a hustle for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more juicy online hustles, faceless wisdom, and money-making madness. Drop a comment if you've got a side hustle story of your own, and I'll catch you in the next one. Check out the resources in the description.